Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to be going over 10 must-have games for the Sega Saturn this time. Now, one of my favourite consoles. There are loads to choose from, absolutely loads you can choose from. Now, I've chosen these because they're pretty cheap. Same again, pretty cheap, easy to get hold of. You get your money's worth, and they're still pretty decent games, longevity. You probably, some of them you'll agree with, some of them you might not with. But anyway, let's have a look. So today, I'm going to be choosing first one, Tomb Raider. Now, Tomb Raider I've chosen because it's still pretty cheap. You can get it for £10–15 with instructions. And it's a great adventure. It's where it all started, the Tomb Raider series. I mentioned this in an episode a few weeks ago for the Sega Saturn. How good it is. Compare it to the PlayStation. Maybe not as good. But that doesn't bother me. It's all about the gameplay. Every one of these games you play, it's all about the gameplay. And this still has fantastic game to this day. Yeah, it is a bit stiff on the controls. I understand. It takes you a while to turn around, jump back, jump forward, jump up, jump onto the ledge. I get it. Pull your guns away. Before you know it, you're just flobbing around somewhere. Swimming down instead of swimming up. I get it. I do understand. But once you've got used to the controls, I do find this one extremely good and still brilliant to play today. Good atmosphere, a 3D sort of Tomb Raider kind of game, or a 3D Tunnel Raider. This is, in a cave, finding treasures. Bit of a Indiana Jones, obviously. Still great, absolutely fantastic. Definitely one for your collection. My next one, I'm going to go with, got to have it, haven't we? Virtua Fighter. Once again, I mentioned this a few weeks ago in the Sega Saturn episode, should we say. Virtua Fighter, well, what can I say? It is very close to the arcade. It's not arcade perfect, but a fiver with instructions, £10 maybe with instructions. How good's that? You can't go wrong. You've got two players, invite a friend around and have a blast. You'll be on there all night. This is what games are all made about. This is a quality 3D game. Loads of characters to choose from. And the graphics are still very good indeed. I'm talking 95% close to the arcade. You've got your great sound, the graphics, the quality of it. It's all in there. It's all in there, and loads of characters to choose from. So, like I say, £5 and £10, you can't go wrong. This is one of those you like to just sit down if you've got your Sega Saturn plugged in. Put it back in again, have a quick blast on it. It's like, oh yeah, see how far I can get on one character. Then you choose a different character and see how far you can get on him or her, depending on which character you choose from. Quality game. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So, yeah, Virtua Fighter, a must for your Sega Saturn collection. My next one, I mentioned this earlier on as well, Manx TT. Like I say, I'd not heard about this game hardly at all. And then I saw it was going for about £5 with instructions. And I actually played it and I thought, this is really good actually. It gives you a good sense of speed. You don't go thrashing around on the corners. Good controls, and it is one of those that you're going to get better and better. Once you memorise the laps, you're going to get really good at this, and then eventually you'll be able to just play it through and get first every time. And once you've done that, come away for a couple of months and then have a quick blast again. You're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of that. I reckon let's say it's worth £5. You go for £5. And you get 5 hours out. That's £1 an hour. That's great, especially for retro games these days. How expensive they're getting. £5 an hour. £1 an hour. £5 game, worth it. Definitely worth it. So, Manx TT Superbike or Manx Superbike TT. I don't know which way they say it. I can't remember what they say on the screen, but definitely, I highly recommend it. A definite must if you see the Saturn collection. My next one now. Oh, this is going to cause some controversy. This one is. I'm going to go with Doom. Doom. Can't believe you've chosen Doom. Some people say this is the worst port of Doom. Some people say the SNES, some people say the 3DO. Yeah, in America, they were basing on the back some like 60 levels when there's only like 59 or 55, something like that. On the back of here, it says it's 55. Or what? I can't remember what it says. And they were saying, and they didn't have it. You didn't have multiplayer online function, say, in the American version. We do over here. It means you need 2 Saturns and 2 Doom games, but I personally think this one I still find pretty good. Yeah, when you get to like level 15 or 16, it is pretty choppy, and some people say it's unplayable. But once you've got past that levels again, it does slow down. Well, it does speed up again, and it does give you a good challenge. Is it the best Doom? No, but you know what? I think you can get this £15–20 for with instructions as well. Recommend it. I really do recommend it. Like if you've not got the PlayStation version, if you've not got like the Jaguar version, let's just say you're one of these people that likes to stick to your Sega Saturn, and then I want to play Doom. Recommend it. Definitely recommend it. It is well worth it. Like I say, it does get choppy certain areas. There's a password save on there as well, so you can just, if it really bugs you, just find out what the password is for the next level and just go on to it. Like I say, but I do recommend it. I do enjoy it. I do love my Doom games. I know it's got its downfalls. I know that, but I still enjoy the game. Definitely. So Doom, one for your collection, especially if you're starting off with Sega Saturn. Next one I'm going to go with another obvious one really, Daytona USA. Now they did Daytona Championship Edition. This one was rushed, and I've mentioned before the draw distance isn't that good. But I think you can get. I think I got mine for £7 or something, didn't you? For 10 with instructions. Definitely worth it for that price. You can't go wrong. You got to say something. You fancy a great thrash around, a great driving game. Daytona USA is one of those. Lots of, or not to say lots of courses and lots of cars to choose from. There's about 4, I think. The courses are about 3, I think. But you can get used to it, and if you finish in 15th, and then before you know it, you finish in 10th. Before you know it again, you come back and play it. You finish in 5th, and you're getting used to it. And like I say, if you're getting like 10 hours gameplay out of this, definitely worth it. So highly recommend it. Daytona USA. It is one to start you off on. Definitely will have one in your collection. So my next one I'm going to go with, now this one's getting a bit more expensive. Obviously it's not as expensive as the third one in the series, but you probably guessed it, Panzer Dragoon. Yes, there's 1, 2 and Panzer Dragoon, I can't remember what it's off the top of my head now, what's it called? Panzer Dragoon, not Auto, Panzer Dragoon Saga, that's it. It's a bit more RPG element. But Panzer Dragoon is your kind of rail shooter, kind of like Space Harrier but on a dragon. That's the only way I can describe it. And I do find this game, the levels are really beautiful to look at. The music is gorgeous. It's orchestral music playing while you are playing this game, and it's one of the, it's very pleasing to the eye when you're playing it. Very pleasing. You can probably see the graphics now. Very, very pleasing indeed. And this is one of the games that you probably won't finish it on your first, second, or third try, but you will go back to it. There's, once you've discovered more ways or quick ways to kill the bosses and the baddies easier, then you're going to zoom through this. I do recommend it. Give this a try, but this is around about 30–40. This one is going up in price, but I do find that this one does have a hell of a lot of charm to it, and recommend getting it for your collection. Next one I'm going, we've got another driving game, Sega Rally. Wow. Well, come on, let's face it. Sega Rally, I mentioned before, is probably in everybody's top 5 Sega Saturn games, I'd have thought. I really do like this one as well. Good graphics, good sound, good gameplay. Yeah, it is a bit blockier compared to the arcade. Because the gameplay is great. If I wanted the arcade, I'd have got out and bought the arcade cabinet. Okay, probably like £500. But I like the Sega Rally on the Sega Saturn. Is one of those that's just really, really good. It's got a lot of value to it, a lot of gameplay to it, and like I say, pretty cheap as well. You can get it for about £5 to £10 with instructions, and you are looking at, I reckon you're going to get 5 hours gameplay, maybe 10 hours gameplay, especially if you're doing 2 players as well. Split screen, can't go wrong. If you've got any friends out there, it's just all of this quality games. You're not one of those, sometimes you do go skidding around the corner a bit, but you can put it back and you still, I'm going to make it, just get first, yay. That's one of them kind of games. Highly recommend this one. Yeah, I've said it again. But yes, Sega Rally Championship is a must for your collection. This one I'm going to go with is, we've got to have a horror survival, and I'll go with Resident Evil. Ooh, is it? Ooh, yeah, it came out for the PlayStation, we know, and it came out for the Sega Saturn as well. I think this has got a few extra bits in there. you've got your gold tyrant at the end. That's a bit of an extra, something you can unlock where you have to fight him, which I think is pretty good. I've played both versions all the way through, and I do find this one either equally as good or probably slightly better in certain areas. I'm not saying this one's better than the PlayStation or the PlayStation's better than this one. You know what? I want both. I enjoy playing both, and I'm not going to compete against each other, which is the best. I find this one, like I say, all of there, playing Chris or Jill, it still gives you that scare factor. You still find yourself running with short on weapons or bullets, should we say. I do find there is a little bit more detail in the characters on this one. They started from ground up apparently, and they did a bit more work on the characters, gave them a little bit more definition, kind of not less blocky, but it's just a bit more in there. And I do find this one is still a really good game. Depends on what mood I'm in. Do I fancy to play on the PlayStation or I fancy on the Sega Saturn? But yeah, Sega Saturn Resident Evil is a must. A definite must. It's going for about £20. Must in your collection. I can't say enough. We've got second to last, should we say? I've gone with Street Fighter Alpha 2. Yes, Street Fighter Alpha 2. Wow, what a game! Now, there's Street Fighter Alpha 1, Street Fighter Alpha 3. You can only get that in Japan. I've gone with Street Fighter Alpha 2 because it's around about 20, 25, 30 with instructions. You can find yourself a decent copy out there. All the characters are there. The loading times are slightly less compared to any of the, say, the PlayStation. And I do find this one to be probably the best Street Fighter Alpha 2. And I've got them all. Doesn't mean I think the others are crap. I still like to play them every now and then, and I love to play this one. I play this one a bit more because I think the joypad layout just give you that edge. But yeah, all the characters are in there. You see, people say the animations, they're losing a few frames, but I sat there and watched them. Like, if I've got to really look hard to see that losing them frames on animation, it's not going to bother me. Does it spoil the gameplay? No, it doesn't. Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a recommended must for your Sega Saturn collection. Go out and give it a trial. Go out and get it now. And then my last one, well, I think it's a bit of an obvious one. I've gone with Virtua Fighter 2. Virtua Fighter 2 is, well, they've upgraded it compared to the Virtua Fighter 1. They've given it far more like polygons on screen, way more detail this time. Loading times are really better. Music's great. It does run smoother as well. You can get it in 60 hertz, running very well indeed. And it does give you a lot of challenge. It does give you a lot of gameplay. Some extra characters in there to choose. And if you want to go through this and play every character, you've got yourself, quite a bit of gameplay there. This is probably going for about £8–10 with instructions. So, wow, you can't go wrong for that price. You really can't go wrong. Virtua Fighter is probably one of my favourite 3D fighting games on the Sega Saturn. Probably the best 3D fighting game. Yeah, I could go as far as to say the best 3D fighting game on the Sega Saturn. It's quality, and you get a good, say, bang for your buck. You get some great, good challenge there, and some great value for a game. So guys, that is it. 10 must-have games for your Sega Saturn. They're not the definitive, like I mentioned before. They're not the top 10. I've chosen those because they are cheap and they're pretty easy to get hold of. They're doable at least. If you want to start a Sega Saturn collection, if you want to go out and get, what should I look into first? Give any one of those a try. I don't think you will be let down. Really don't. So guys, there we have it. 10 must-have for the Sega Saturn. Thanks for watching. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you soon. Cheers.